Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Gandair of the gaming clan Vato clan, and today we are bringing you the semifinals of the LoLPro Dominion Showdown, and after that we're going to bring you the third and fourth place match, and after that we're going to bring you the finals. 4 best of 3s to go today to conclude this 2-day event, the LoLPro Dominion Showdown. Number 2, we have the chat bans just now completed in the chat. This first semifinals game is going to be Sofanda Cox versus Clueless.
Both teams have actually finished up 2-0, I believe, in all their games. The only 2-1 that we had yesterday, if you do a bracket command there in the chat, guys, you can open them up. But the only 2-1 yesterday was Superior Income versus Merca. And then Superior Income lost to Bot Fancy's mom, a PS3. We're going to be seeing them in the next semifinals up against the Rude Lords. But yeah, Sofanda Cox and Clueless, some absolutely terrifying games yesterday, especially Clueless. Going up against the Goon Squad, which we were able to do twice on stream yesterday. And I think that was our shortest game, one of those yesterday, at the 16-minute mark. So,
yeah, that was the shortest one that we actually managed to get on camera. I heard there were some shorter ones. I think Zamike and High People's team won their game in 6 minutes. That's you know, that stuff happens.
Ban Lulu.
Yeah, you gotta be careful of that. If you ban out everything, he plays Teemo. We discovered that, and I don't know what happens if you spend all 5 bans on his champions. I'm sure something strange and mystical occurs.
Well, if you spend 5 bans banning out Zamike, then things like Kha'Zix and Kassadin and Jace start appearing.
Yeah, bad things begin to happen.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, as you said, Sofanda Cox and Clueless, best of 3 here, and both these guys got some Rubik Town under their hood. Clueless, of course, Half-Hearted, the brand man there with BB Bob, Sifu, Calvin, Wolfer, and the Brown Bruiser. But yesterday we saw the terrifying Spartan skills of Armor and Ipu Unicorns. Aaliyah on those supports, man, and Generic on them Assassins. It was... I don't know which way this will go, honestly.
Oh man, we got to see some great support play from Alia and Wei yesterday in their games. Supports in Pantheon, I think, pretty much sums up day 1 pretty well, I think. And Mitsuru not being able to land spears, which FourCourt, remember how you said somebody should put that to music and make a video? Well, Golly did that.
That was quick,
and I
huh?
have that video to play on the stream later.
Can you link it to me privately? Because I kind of want to see it.
I will when I'm not in this client, so I can get the link from Golly. I just gotta get the okay from him to play it on the stream.
Oh,
if not, I'll just link it.
That happened.
Well, Kha'Zix got through, and so did.
Kassadin too.
Wait, no. This is completely legitimate. Okay.
Really?
Occasionally, teams will not ban Kha'Zix so that they can each get one of them. Sort of a
Really?
trade-off. Yeah.
Well, as you said, the chat bans earlier, Kayle, Janna, Teemo, Rammus. So again, you've seen that Kayle ban come out, and if I go back and I look at Sofanda Cox game up against Amputees, Kayle was a ban both times up against Sofanda Cox. So not really too much of a surprise to see a Kayle ban coming out again. Something obviously went wrong there.
Is it Sifu again? No,
yeah, the rest of them,
Painkiller.
Maokai, Brand, Wukong, Jarvan, Nidalee, Zyra. And Zyra and Wukong, definitely 100% pick ban rate. Jarvan pretty up there as well. Brand, I think, has been banned twice. Looking back at my data from yesterday. Yeah, yesterday, Amputees versus Sofanda Cox banned him out, now banned out again. But I'm a little curious because it's Half-Hearted that banned it.
Yeah, Half-Hearted's a really good brand player, but if your team's not going to have first pick, you want to get rid of that, you know? It's such a solid champion, and a little bit better than Annie. Annie's very close range. Brand has a lot longer range that he can contribute his damage from. So it looks like someone just had their client crash, was all.
Yeah, apparently some of the teammates of Clueless are under Tornado Watch. So let's hope that Tornado...
I know on Sofanda's team. Actually,
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was some on
You're right,
Clueless' team also, but yeah. Not Tornado Watch, Tornado Warning. It's maximum scare.
Is that not the same thing?
A watch is when there's conditions that could create a tornado, and then a warning is when they're like, hey, don't be surprised if one shows up. It's like, what?
I don't know. To me, maybe my cold Canadian ears. Maybe that's the same thing.
I think someone in the chat could probably tell us watch versus warning.
Either way, let's hope tornadoes don't kill esports. And the game has resumed. It's going to be the same picks, same bans already. But already, as again, like Kha'Zix and Kassadin, those are firsts for us. We have not seen those played. They've been 100% banned up until this game.
Okay, and we're seeing everybody go back through the picks again. We have...
Gung Ho Union. Watch is where you watch a tornado, Kappa. Yeah, it's a good way to put it, I guess.
Okay. Let's go back into talking about things now that we have everybody back in the lobby. Looks like... yes, here we go. Seeing a Zyra ban, I'm really happy about, because Zyra's really difficult champion to deal with. She can set up shop on a point, be very difficult to unseat, slow, airborne, snare, all sorts of bad things from her. But we're seeing our top two tanks being banned here, Maokai and Jarvan, and instead they're picking up Kassadin and Kha'Zix, the two best assassins. So this will be really interesting. Half-Hearted is a very good Kassadin player, and I thought Unicorns was also a cast player, but it looks like he's picked up Kha'Zix. I don't know who their Kha'Zix player is on their team.
I would not be surprised to see it on Armor, to be honest.
Yeah, he's been doing good with that AD thing.
Yeah, the Pantheons yesterday were terrifying.
Oh, Lulu+Kha'Zix is mean. That's a mean combo.
Yeah, you got a name for that one?
No. You want to name it FourCourt? You can.
Kittens and Mantis? I don't know.
Okay.
Trying to go with an animal theme.
Alright.
I don't have anything else past that, but they got Lockin' on top of that as well, so yeah, good AoE, some on-demand stun.
I'm seeing Urgot also now being picked up for Clueless,
Mm-hmm.
and well, they could put Half-Heart on Urgot. They can put Sifu on Cass. Sifu loves Kassadin.
Glitterbug. I like Glitterbug.
Glitterbug, yeah. Hey, who suggested that? That's a great idea.
Kero Cola.
Kiro _Cola? Well, hey, that's the Glitterbug combo. Yeah, that's a great thing to duo if you want to make people mad. Just roll around Lulu+Kha'Zix, and it's a great combination.
Speed up, slowdowns, and death.
Yep. That shield. That airborne. Everything. All of a sudden, Kha'Zix has a crowd control. And airborne. Bam.
Well, it looks like maybe it's going to be a Xin Zhao and an Elise. To go with that, I'm still kind of leaning towards Urgot in the bottom, unless you want to put a Jhin there. But I can't imagine you'd put a Kassadin or an Elise in there.
Wolfer is going to pick something for bottom. Knock Fizz. Maybe he'll pick something else. But I expect
it really
Wolfer
depends
down
on
there.
what Wolf wants to end up. But
Yeah.
we could have a Nocturne, could have a Fizz. Neither of them were banned out, and he did play both yesterday.
I'm still trying to figure out who's going to go with the Kha'Zix pick.
Well, people in the chat are saying it's Sifu Calvin.
What? He's on the other team. I was talking about
sorry,
Kha'Zix.
Kassadin.
Yeah, it's like Kassadin can go either way.
I'm still voting for Armor.
Yeah.
We might see a Sejuani bot again. I think Nyx yesterday had... No, that was Noob. Noob had a Sejuani
Yeah,
bot.
Noob V3 was doing Sejuani
Right,
bot.
not Nyx. Nyx was Cassiopeia. He did a few Cassiopeia games yesterday in that bottom lane.
I think
if
Nyx
he's
is...
going to pick up Malzahar, then...
Nyx's Diana is probably my favorite thing to see him play. Even though he hasn't busted that out in a while.
Stream.
Yeah, Diana bottom is pretty rocking. She's a good champion down there. Plays kind of like, Zed and Talon do. You want to kill your lane opponent, and she's really good at ending things.
So you did get the chat bans up. Good. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
I have them on there. I could copy paste into an XSplit scene. I was so happy when I found that out.
Yep.
For some reason, I thought it just wouldn't work.
All right, so Baby's going to take Elise. Wolfer on the Nocturne, very likely in the bottom. Sifu Calvin takes the Kassadin, Half-Hearted. On the Urgot, Bram Bruiser. Did Bram Bruiser play Jhin yesterday?
Yes, he did.
Pretty sure he did.
He did.
Goon Squad versus Clueless. Yeah, second game they had Jhin, so I'm pretty sure that was Brown. And Armor is going to stay on Sejuani. Curious.
All right, so yeah, it's going to be Unicorns on Kha'Zix. I couldn't remember if it was Unicorns that played Cass or Kha'Zix. Probably plays both. I'm sitting here guessing like which one for no reason. Probably plays both. Ollie Lulu, generic on Annie, and Armor Sejuani.
Yep.
Let's take a look at the spells now. We're going to see the return of that Clairvoyance on support.
I still think it was only the one game yesterday that we didn't have Clairvoyance.
Yeah.
We did 6 games on stream because they're all 2-0s. Only one of them did we not have a Clairvoyance. But I think only one of them we also didn't have like a dedicated support. But I can't remember what. That was the Teemo game. That was when we had Teemo.
Yeah.
And yeah, they didn't have, you know, a Janna and Elise, a Lulu to kind of go with the support role. Because the support role is still, while it is different in Dominion, it's still very, very important. Like movement speeds, shield, survivability, CC. You know, these champions bring out a lot. And as you saw, Janna was a ban in the chat. Was a chat ban. And we've seen a lot of Janna. We've seen a lot of Lulu. Seen a lot of Annie throughout all these games. So if you think that these are weak picks, then you haven't been here long enough.
It's okay. Hang out for a while, guys. We'll teach you all about comps. We'll teach you about the proper cooking times and temperatures for the enemy team. All sorts of
Brick
things
ovens,
like that.
Toaster ovens, glitter bugs.
Yep. Look at the 2 comps. Each team has one of the best assassins in the game.
Yep.
Kassadin on one team, Kha'Zix on the other team. Now, Kassadin's early game took a pretty noticeable hit during a patch a couple of months back. There was a specific change to Kassadin. Kassadin's Rift Walk on Dominion has a slightly shorter range than it does on Summoner's Rift. The reason for this is he could Rift Walk over everything. Just everything. Nexus Pit included. Kassadin was just... he could just disappear in the blink of an eye in any direction he wanted. And now there's a couple walls that are just a little bit too fat for him. Now, Kha'Zix, on the other hand, hasn't suffered any change like that. He can still jump as far as he's always been able to, but he has to have Evolve Leap to do it anyway. So he doesn't get out of control with the movement like Kassadin does.
Leap is probably going to be the first evolution, just for the mobility factor.
I usually pick it up second, actually.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't have said that.
Get the Q first, usually.
Now, there was a change with Kha'Zix where you can't do your Void Spikes midair.
I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure that that's still in effect, but I could be wrong. There was one point, though, that you couldn't do Void Spikes in the air. Maybe a few of the chat monsters would know, but... I did do a jungle Kha'Zix a few months ago after that change. It's like, man, can't combo. Either I suck or they change it. And I went back to look at the patch notes, and it was changed. Now, was it only changed for Summoner's Rift? That I'm unsure about. But that is definitely a noticeable nerf in terms of the burst because it adds that extra delay. You have to land before you can get out the spikes. You can't just kind of kamikaze, jump on people's head, do the Goomba jump, and onto the next character.
Okay, there we go. Waiting on my little loading circle to kick us over to the game.
So Moose94 is saying that you can't do spikes in the air. So sounds like that's still in effect. But either way, yeah, game number 1 coming your way. We got the 10 revives out, the 1 clairvoyance. Any garrisons? No garrisons. A lot of revives these days. A lot of revives. Wow, ignites, the revives. But a lot of ignites.
Oh yeah, well, there's plenty of revives too.
But 3 ignites for Clueless right now.
There is 1 over on Sofanda's side as well, along with a clairvoyance.
Usually you see a 2-2 split with a clairvoyance or a garrison. At least that was the overall theme I saw yesterday. 2-2 for the exhaust ignite, but 3 ignites. Man, they're going hard.
And look at the 2 comps here. And for a second I had Casting confused with Darius because I forgot he had the pre-void skin, and they're both reddish. Pre-void's my favorite cast skin. It's really cool. And I see BB on Elise. So we saw BB play Elise yesterday, and I felt like I didn't really see anything particularly special about it compared to his AD carry play. We haven't seen BB play an ADC yet in this tournament.
But
I mean, there's still plenty of games to go.
That he's such an awesome ADC.
And here he is on Elise.
Right. He played 1 yesterday, didn't he?
I don't think that got streamed.
Clueless. Lucian was being played by Goon Squad.
Yeah, that was Acoustic Ninja.
Yeah, Acoustic Ninja. Man, he had some solid games early in the tournament, but up against Clueless, their team couldn't handle that.
Yep.
Okay, Kayle. He had Kayle yesterday.
Oh, yeah, that's right. There was a BB Kayle.
Yeah.
That was in that game where they...
That's what I was pretty sure.
Really
he
won.
did have one ADC.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as we saw, the Kayle banned this game. These guys, these guys know each other. Long time. They know their strengths and their weaknesses.
Yeah, these guys have been competing against each other for... I can almost say years. I can almost say years. That's the crazy part. The youngest players in competition here, in order, are Alia and BB Pop. Alia really didn't compete in Dominion competition at all because he works on weekends, so he has to take days off for it.
Yep.
He's a really good support player. He plays in in-houses and things all the time, but he's never able to dedicate time off. So the first time we ever really saw him was last LoLPro Dominion Showdown, the first Dominion Showdown that
months ago.
LoLPro ran, and then he played in like one miscellaneous DD between then and now.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's over here in this one. And BB Pop, I think, is the newest player over on Clueless' side. His name didn't start popping up in competition until about, I want to say,
it's pro
3 months ago or so. Yeah, man, BB on that Victorious Elise. Maybe he's just showing off the skin. He wants to say, hey, guys, look at that. I know how to play some Summoner's Rift too, guys.
Yeah. All right, so just a quick update here, guys. Game number 1, Clueless versus Sofanda Cox. Sofanda Cox actually on your blue. Getting the rough end of the deal so far here in this 8v8 up top. Got to factor in those revives, but sometimes, it takes a long time to solidify a cap up here on the windmill, but Aaliyah is going to get that shield. Going to have to take a little bit of pain, but Unicorns, he's been throwing off those spikes. You can see a little bit of the range coming out. That's going to be the cocoon. The collapse from Bruiser on top of Generic might actually go the wrong way for him. He does drop first blood. Generic will go down to BB Pop as well, but the triple kill comes around for Clueless, and Aaliyah, tail between her legs. She's going to have to run for that one.
Picks up the health relic, may be able to get away. Half-Heart doesn't have enough mana to throw down another corrosive charge, so he couldn't get any more Acid Hunters in.
Wolf lost. One-on-one. The rest of the blue coming down bottom. Look at that. A 3-man collapse down on top of Graveyard. They know that they can't get the top, so they use their speed from Revive. Come down here. As long as they can just keep Wolf at bay. Sifu Calvin might not get there in time for the neutralization, but they should be able to defend the cap.
And they are able to tag armor on the way out with the Airborne. I think they might have to let Sejuani become bacon here as they back off.
Yeah, unfortunately, her boar has stubby little legs, couldn't outrun that one. And now just the reverse of momentum, going straight back over to the point. 3-on-2. We don't have that Sejuani revive because she used it to get down to the bottom. Aaliyah comes over, though. That doesn't
Ooh, Generic. I'm looking for that auto attack. Is he going to get it? Oh, Alia takes it with the Glitter Lance instead. Now, Brown Bruiser and Sifu Recalling up at the top. Unicorns is kind of holding Urgot at bay. But Unicorns is not that great at clearing waves, though, with Kha'Zix.
Alright, my game crashed, so it's all you see.
Oh, hey, okay, well, hey, while you get that fixed, I'll go ahead and talk about what's going on. Half-Heart intercepted by Generic and Armor. He's going to try to position reverse his way out. He's going to give him that extra armor and MR. BB's going to intercept with a stun, but he can only stun one person. Sifu shows up as well, and oh, Brown Bruiser almost able to save Half-Heart there. But Unicorns is able to escape with the leap with his life. Sifu, it looks like he's going to get picked off by Alia, and Alia is going to start falling back. But is he going to be able to escape? No, he's going to turn around. He's going to use the Airborne, help pick up the KB against Elise. And it looks like they're going to follow up, maybe clean up against Brown Bruiser here. The Incinerate doesn't look like it landed there. Generic with everything on cooldown, not able to finish off Xin. Kha'Zix now back on his way to the field, and Alia. Oh no! He was interrupted by the Acid Hunter! He is going to be able to get away, though, thankfully, because of the shield. So close to being defeated there.
You kept saying Alia, alley-oop? Yeah.
Oh man, that would have been the best transition. Man,
right, so
I dropped that so hard it didn't bounce.
Reason, it said spectator crash, so I don't know.
Welcome back to the show, FourCourt.
Still the 3-cap situation going the way of Clueless, though, and ooh, that's not going to be good. Armor gets baited out. Sifu Calvin and Brown Bruiser 2-on-1. She's going to have to run from that. No kill. I mean, she is a fairly tanky beast. Does have an Aegis already with that Doran shield. Clairvoyance goes down. They notice nobody's there in those bushes, so why not take Half-Hearted down to half? But here comes the counter offensive.
Generic having to retreat. Oh, Ro4 diving in for it with that paranoia. Picks up the kill against Annie. Full 5 over here at the refinery. Bottom tower is open for Nyx to respond to it while this is going on, but Ro4's presence up here really helping to swing the team fight in their favor. Brown Bruiser with basically no health is able to get to the back of the fight and stay alive, and the pressure from BB and Halfhard keeping Alia back inside the base. And there's Ro4 with the recall, is able to get back to his tower in time to keep it from getting captured. Does go neutral, but a neutral is okay to have. Don't be too afraid of a neutral. You can go pick it back up later. It's exactly what Ro4 is doing. Paranoia up, recalls back in time to save his tower. Good play. You see now them duking it out. Hex Drinker activated on Ro4 for that little bit of extra health. Able to take down Nyx very, very easily. They're going to get their tower back, but top part of the map, they really don't have anyone to defend this, unfortunately. They sent a lot of people down to the bottom lane to take the tower back from Nyx, and they didn't leave anyone up near the windmill at all. BB is going to be defeated by Annie's Tibbers. Tibbers also is a good way to get vision. It's like having a remote control car. Middle of the map, Sifu has to Rift Walk out, and he is able to escape. Okay, I read that. Alright, Brown Bruiser heading down for the Speed Shrine. Okay. Whoop. Okay. Bottom part of the map. Sifu having to retreat away. FourCourt's having a little bit of a connection issue there, so if you're not hearing him talk, that's why. Just a little bit of a technical thing going on I'm covering right now. Ro4 heading around towards the Speed Shrine in the center of the map. He's going to tag that. Looks like he's going to head straight back down bottom with it. Middle of the map, Armor is in the center brush, and he's just scoping things out. He's waiting around, wants to scout for his team, give vision, make sure he sees who's walking by, puts himself in a position where he can move up to the top. Now, top tower, there's a whole lot of minions up here as well, so they have to deal with that in addition to this team fight in order to keep it going neutral. Looks like the Glitterlands from Alia managed to tag a lot of them, but Alia was picked off in the process, and with Sejuani as low on health as she is, they're going to have to back away from that tower. Okay, we'll see if is it fixed now?
Seems for now. Man, that was really terrible.
It's okay, man. Tornadoes happen, even in Canada.
So I've been watching the whole game. I just have no idea what you've been talking about. But either way, another fight going down here in the mid. Brown Bruiser tried to go on top of Generic. We had Tibbers come out of that as well. Armor getting into the thick of things, but Wolf in the back grabs the double. Armor goes down as well. That's going to be a kill going the way of Kassadin. Looking for the quad on top of the good Nyx. And Leah's getting chased down as well. This could be a veritable ace. Do we have any revives? We have no revives. Okay, that's a lie. We have Nyx on revive if he does go down. But he's going to turn around and try to get the kill on top of Wolf. And there we go. That's going to be the ace. Immediate revive. Malzahar is going to come right back down to the point. But 3-on-1, I'm not too sure that's going to work.
Sifu Calvin on Kassadin really starting to ramp up in the damage, and so is Unicorns now with that evolve. Oh, the Rift Walk escape! Did you see that? Sifu just barely managed to get away, and there's another Rift Walk over the wall to check in case Sifu tried to retreat through that direction. Kassadin versus Kha'Zix is something that's pretty interesting to watch, even if it doesn't happen that often. Unicorns is going to hang around down here, try to take this point. He is going to get the neutral, but is he going to be able to get the full capture? Looks like Sejuani running interference right above the tower. He's going to keep Brown Bruiser from connecting, and he dropped the cap before it went neutral. Nyx has to go down there to push it over to neutral, which means he's not going to be involved in the team fight for a few seconds. And coming back now, Nyx joins the fight at the same time that Ro4 does. Generic is going to be defeated there, and we have Unicorns on the wrong side of the fight, not able to get in.
That's a really good cleanup coming out from Clueless. They got 3 for 1 there. They are going to get their point back, and it's They were, I mean, Sofanda Cox was able to just staunch the bleeding a little bit. Nyx, however, is going to contribute to that bleeding a little bit by dropping. At least he trade out 1-for-1, but you can see Clueless just relentlessly pursuing all the way back to the point. And it's going to be a 3-to-1 cap situation, and the health for Sofanda Cox continuing to trickle away. 160 points difference in their Nexi. And Annie, she's just making a beeline straight top.
Yeah, with as many people as there were down at the bottom lane, it lets them know that, hey, top's open. You have unicorns up here as well.
Is that going to get neutral?
Oh, yeah. Definitely a neutral. Not a full cap, though, because team fight breaking out just south of the point. Unicorns is going to go in for half-hard immediately, but half-hard Urgot has that completely under control up there in the upper right corner of the fight. Brown Bruiser getting low on health as well. Sifu, Kassadin, his sustained damage, not the highest in the game, but he still has plenty of mana to play with here. Ro4 stalking down, generic bottom lane being left open once again. And are we going to see that quick recall down there, or is Ro4... Oh, Ro4, Paranoia just came up. I feel like he's going to dive in for Nyx. Let's see if that's what happens.
Well, Calvin has to deal with generic. You got Wolf in that bot. Now, that is a quest objective as well, so Nyx, had he been able to actually grant that, would have been very useful in terms of the point score, but looks like Nyx, unfortunately, will not be able to grab the kill. He does drop, and that should go right back to Clueless. Now, you got the 4-man rush coming up top. Kassadin is the only one up there, but he's also recalling. Not exactly the best of hit points, so now that's going to be Kha'Zix up there. Interference going to be run here in the jungle. Brown Bruiser, armor, that's going to be the Lulu, and man, what a massive
that glacial prison. And Alia saving, and even using that, Lock the Iron Slaughter to stay alive. So if it wasn't for that item and that support, then Sejuani would have taken a dive there. But instead, Sejuani's going to be able to recall just fine and get back. And oh dear, the damage on Sifu. His health getting dangerously cheesy. He's going to rift walk on through the wall and get away. And Alia going to go for a recall as well. That's a little bit interesting to see. They had pretty good map position. Maybe Alia just wanted to pick up an item.
That's very dangerous. In the open, we just had 3 recalls from top, and they leave a half-health Bruiser to deal with Ibu Unicorns and armor. And I don't know, that just felt very, very overconfident right there. Because now they're about to lose this top point.
Yeah, guaranteed. They don't have anything that can stop it. And where's their play? They come from. They go from there. Sifu is taking the relic in the center of the map, and it looks like half-hard's Urgot saying down to the bottom. Maybe gonna go for a little bit of a gank on Nyx. Kha'Zix down here as well. Kha'Zix is a little bit squishy though. Let's see how this fight turns out.
Well, Aaliyah's going to try. Armor is going to be in the back, but BB Bob and Sifu Calvin goes right through that wall. No problem. Riftwalk OP. So that's going to be the quick turnaround in the top. That means the point is going to go back to Clueless. And again, they're going to just resume with their massive life lead here. Nyx with the...
Oh, that Nether Grasp right over the wall. Perfect in range of generic, but that spell shield eats a little bit of that damage. That was a great lockdown on Nyx. Ro4 comes back, though, with the Paranoia once again, and I love fighting a Malzahar as Nocturne because, well, what you've been seeing Ro4 do to Nyx, that's what a Nocturne can do to a Malzahar. It's pretty frightening. You see him with that Hex Drinker and those Merc Treads doing a lot of work for Ro4 in order to mitigate that magic damage, and Tibbers really swinging away at Ro4. Generic should be able to get out of this okay, but he really can't contest the point too well.
Man, oh man, that Kha'Zix triple kill in the top. Power of the bug, man, that glitter bug combo.
BB now tags Unicorns with the stun, though, but that corrosive charge, did that land? It looks like it did. It's going to let him get the killing blow against him there. And Alia not quite able to escape from BB Pop's Elise.
Alright, so 100 points left here on Sofanda's Nexus. Man, they just lost the factory. That got neutraled out. Ibu Unicorns could be in some trouble here. BB Bop and Sifu Calvin forces him to run, but now it's going to be the counter. Armor and generic, they're going for Sifu. That was the Riftwalk. Exhaust comes out. That's going to be the stun, but can they actually clean him up, or is he able to go over the wall? It doesn't matter. He has the reinforcements. Wolf in the bottom, though. That is going to be a kill, and that's going to be another reset for Unicorns, who go straight onto the Bruiser.
and the Kha'Zix able to front load so much damage. If you see what he's doing there, Zins out, man, that's absolutely brutal. And that's just going to get worse as the longer the game goes on. But there's potentially not a lot of time left in the game for them to really see that Kha'Zix damage.
Well, it's a 3-2 split for the points, so we need to at least get a neutralization to staunch the flow. Unicorns goes in on top of Calvin. Unicorn's doing some really great work with Kha'Zix, especially this late game. He has the Cleaver, he has the Last Whisper, he's 10-7 in terms of kills. The only other person really to rival that right now is Urgot at 10-4 with a very similar build. Pretty identical except for the cooldown boots. But Unicorns and crew, they have to make some kind of play here, otherwise 45 seconds and could be it.
Nyx, though, is going to get a free trip back to the summoner platform. Everyone trying to get in on that kill. No one up at the top part of the map, but there's also no one in position from either team. And Paranoia through to Generic. Wukong is going to take him down, and then there's a position swap with Unicorns, and that's how you want to fight against Kha'Zix with Urgot. You hit that position swap, and you just have better armor and magic resistance. And it looks like Alia might get swept up here as well. BB, no, BB is going to get picked off by Alia, and they, unless they could sweep Urgot in neutral, this is going to go to game 2 real shortly here.
We just had 3 revives and Nyx come back up. 2 revives and Nyx. Yeah, 2 revives and Nyx, and they got to make something happen. So they're going for the top. Nyx is going for the bottom. He's going to take out Half-Hearted. That could be a nice split.
Half-Hearted does not have his revive either.
No.
So he's not going to be able to just have that immediate return to the bottom, which means Nyx can get that neutral. Elise had gone down there to stop it, and they may be able to drag this game out just a little bit here.
Calvin's going to be a thorn in the side. We got Elise down bottom. They need this neutral, and there we go. That's going to staunch the flow for now. 320-9. We've seen crazier comebacks, but
this is going to be a single-digit hit point comeback. That's a little scary.
Can they do that?
Oh, dear. The stun. Nyx got hit by it, and he's not going to be able to escape.
No, he's going to drop, so PB Bob down there, Sifu Calvin down there. They know that there's no pressure up top. You can see Sofanda Cox reacting. They're bringing more to the bottom. It's going to be 3-man pressure to defend. They got Nyx down. They also got Aaliyah up top, just trying to keep people off that point. But she found Half-Hearted. She's going to have to use that wild growth just to escape. And now that's going to leave Half-Hearted all the pressure he wants in the top, because the fight is not going the way of Sofanda Cox in the bottom.
No, it's not, unfortunately. They're doing a really good job scrapping and trying to defend down here in this lower part of the map. But they're just driving minions into the tower. They want to get the neutral, just barely saved it. I couldn't even see the capture on it because of Dustbringer.
Well, that's right. Neither could Generic. That's going to be 1 kill. Unicorn's looking for the second. Does grab it. Here comes Wolf. Wolf versus the Bug. 2 Unicorns. Not looking so good. Nyx is now going to come into this situation. That's going to leave Wolf just running for it. But he sets up the ambush. Could he go for Unicorns? I think he wants to.
Oh, the suppress! The suppress! Nyx, there you go. You can't beat him all game, Wolfer. Nyx has a few tricks for you. And this point, I don't think he can get this neutral here.
Aaliyah is still holding top.
Looks like it's going to be really, really close. Is he going to be able to get it? Riftwalk over the wall. Nyx gets it. Nyx, man. Sifu's coming for you.
Yeah. Exhaust in the top, Brown Bruiser into Half-Hearted. They need to get this pressure. It's going to be a 2v2. Armor loses the hit points. Generic actually gets swapped out with Half-Hearted, and that is going to be the end of Sejuani.
Now, full health Generic up there with the CDR that he has going for him between the BFT and the Fiendish Codex. Give him a nice 20%. What is he setting at? Total 30%, so he has a little bit else in there. So a CDR on Annie, pretty good to have, especially late game. Become a more consistent source of sustained damage. And they're holding it. They're holding it their 9 points, man. FourCourt. They're doing a pretty good job so far, but they can't really afford to make very many mistakes. They might not even get a half a mistake. Well, but they can still take this game home.
How many revives do they got? They almost have Annie's up. So basically, any death that is greater than any death for Clueless could result in the point and the game. Like 9 points is a very slim margin of health to be banking everything on. But Sofanda Cox are still currently holding. The problem is I'm seeing Clueless with this aggression in and around the factory.
And Wolfer comes up from the bottom once again, but Nyx sees that, immediately goes across. Nyx should be able to get that neutral for free, but top, unfortunately, is going to get completely annihilated.
Generic with Annie. She's going to come straight back up. But they went immediately for Unicorns, and Unicorns just had to fold under the pressure. We had the Wild Growth go down on him. It did not hit anybody from Clueless. And any amount of deaths greater than Clueless, we said, is going to be probably game. We got the pressure up top. We got the pressure here at Factory. That's going to be 2 caps, 3 caps, because Sifu Calvin down there, bottom left. The only response we have is Nyx going for the drill. But all you need is 2 to 1. All you need is 1 to 0 for the caps. And the life is now slowly trickling out from Sofanda Cox.
Yeah, I mean, Nyx had a really good response to Ro4 leaving the bottom lane. He went straight across, got the tower, but Ro4's presence at that middle point, without them having any revives, just sealed the deal for it.
Game number 1 going the way of this defending Dominate Dominion champions, Clueless. But man, that 9... We went from, what, 300-something points to 183 by holding on to 9 Nexus life for Sofanda Cox.
100-something points.
Your late game, like if you can play for the late game and you can drag it out to, the 18, 20, 22 or higher mark, you can make these comebacks.
Now we saw some of Kassadin's ability to escape, saw some of Kha'Zix's ability to deal damage, and man, they're pretty nuts. If one side had one and the other didn't, might have been a little bit of a different game.
Now, as a note, this was our first time seeing Kha'Zix on stream. 12-9-8, 800 points. Average. It wasn't had the most kills in the game. That's a lie, actually. He had the most kills on his team. But Urgot, 14-5. Urgot just did massive amounts of work against Sofanda Cox. And the Kassadin, our lauded Kassadin.
Wow, there's
100%.
a 20-point
7-5.
20-point damage difference. Hold on, I want to show this. Look at Urgot and Elise. 20-point difference in damage.
I think they just really shut down Sofanda Cox.
Like, that's really narrow when you're talking about a 5-digit number. That's crazy. That's pretty brutal there. Kassadin and Kha'Zix on top. But a pretty even spread of damage across all the top guys.
Malzahar did 75k.
What?
75,000 damage done.
To champions?
Damage done is just... that's all I ever look at. Damage done. Damage dealt, 75k. You look at the same game I am?
Yeah. Oh, well, there's a lot of...
69k.
Yeah.
I mean, Kha'Zix, very little damage overall. Kassadin. In fact, Kassadin did more damage overall. Less kills, more damage. It's interesting.
He has that AoE going for him.
Yeah.
I guess. And Graveyard Hero for this game. It's actually Sejuani. 250. We're going to throw to a commercial real quick, and we will be right back with the next game.